All right, so let's look at Hubert's Unit 1 test. Let's look at that. Look at a few questions. I'm not going to do every single question. Some of the easier questions I'm going to leave off. So preview. Okay, there is a good test question right there. I told you you were going to have a lot of these on there. So I will set it up, and then of course you can finish it. So let's go with different colors like I did 20 times before. F of x plus h minus f of x over h. So I'm going to make a big set of brackets here. I'm going to rewrite 7 parentheses cubed minus 7x cubed all over h. And what am I going to plug in to the blue parentheses? I'm going to plug in x plus h. I'm going to take it one step further, and that's going to be brackets 7 times x plus h squared times x plus h to the first power minus 7x cubed, oops, sorry, seven x cubed all over h. Now, I know we did one like this in class because I remember doing shortcut number 1 here, then using the distributive law with shortcut number 1, and then multiplying the 7 through, and then, and you're only going to get one thing that cancels, and that's the negative 7x cubed and the positive 7x cubed. Okay, so that's a good question. Next. Okay, f plus 2, or this is just a graphing drill. Okay, so f of 2, well, this is f of x, this is g of x. F of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. F of 2 is 4. G of 2, 1. What's 4 plus 1? 5. Okay, let's do f of negative 1. F of negative 1 is positive 1. G of negative 1 is 4. So somebody tell me what's 1 minus 4? Negative 3, Hubert. F of 0 is 0. G of 0 is 3. What is 0 times 3? 0, Hubert. Y'all just, just throw them out there whenever you get them, just spit them all out. Nobody's going to say a word. F of negative 1 is 1. G of negative 1 is 4. What's 1 divided by 4? 1/4. Now that one's pretty simple. I'm going to get you to write that one down just in case you haven't seen it before. You should have seen it in homework. Okay? Y'all speak up or forever hold your peace. Okay, do this one. F composed of G, and then plug in -3. Go ahead and do that one. I'm going to let you do it, and then we'll do it together. Some of the easier, shorter ones I'm going to do with you. The longer ones, I'll just set it up for you. Okay? F composed of G means I'm going to rewrite F with a big set of what? Big set of parentheses. And what am I going to plug into that big set of parentheses? I'm going to plug in x squared minus 3. And my final answer is going to be 5x squared minus 15 minus 1, 5x squared minus 16. Now plug in 3, -3, 5, parentheses squared minus 16, -3, 5 times 9 is 45. 45 minus 16, what is that, 39? I have no idea. What is it? Is it 39?
29.
Thank you. I was beginning to think all y'all were asleep. And let's plug in 29. And we should feel good about ourselves. Oh, here's the ones I love to put on the test because they're short and sweet and to the point. I need a vertical shift of -6 and a shift to the right of 3. So, and it's going to be a parabola, so that takes out this one. Let's see, what else can we take out? Well, we know this is a positive slope, positive shift to the right, so this one's out. So which one has a negative shift of 6? Well, that one's just got a negative shift of like 3, so that one's out. So another reason I like these is because even if a student is not very mathematically inclined, if they listen to me in class and I told them that this was always the opposite, and then you just bring this down, you should be able to at least take out 3 of them. If you take several forms of a class of test in Hubert's class, how was it counted? He takes the highest. No way, no how. I do not replace any grade with your final exam. Write an equation that results in the indicated translation. The square root function shifted 2 units upward. Which square root function has a vertical shift of 2 up? Well, we know it's not C and D because those are horizontal shifts. So you can take out C and D. So which one has a shift upward?
B.
Good job, as in bravo. As you can see, I put some easy questions on here. So, you know, you shouldn't say this was a hard test. The only one that has an answer, and this is the most missed question. I want somebody to tell me how somebody misses this question. All right, here we go. Do we have a horizontal shift here or a vertical shift?
Horizontal.
Good. 3 to the what?
Left.
Okay, you got to put it over here. Vertical shift. Oops. I like this. I like this one. There you go. Save. And you feel good about yourself. I like that question. He awards me extra points by giving me these type questions on each test, and he lowers 2 grades on every unit test. That's why I don't respond to emails about extra points. All right, which one? Let's see. Suppose that H and K are both positive numbers. Which of the following is correct? Positive numbers. Well, that would still be negative. So that would be to the right and down. Right and down. I say delta. Given the function, given the graph of f of x, sketch the scribe below. So here's the function. So which one has a horizontal shift of 5 to the right? It's got to look just like this. Well, this one don't look like it. This one don't look like it. This one and this one looks like it. So it looks like D. Good job. Write an equation that results in the indicative translation. 9 units upward. Absolute value, vertical shift of 9 up. Which one is it? That means I want somebody to answer the question.
C.
C. Overall grade. All right, what's the domain of this function? And they want you to write it in interval notation. What's the domain of this function?
From 5 to infinity.
5 to infinity. What goes on the 5?
A square bracket.
Bracket. Good job. 5, comma, infinity. And infinity always gets parentheses because you don't know what number that is. Range. I'm going to go ahead and put a bracket because that's what goes on the closed circle. What's the range?
5 to infinity.
No, remember, range is y.
Sorry, 1 to infinity.
1 to infinity. Good job. Y'all thought this was going to be a hard test. Is the graph, well, do a vertical line test. Is it a graph? Is it a function? Yes. Vertical line test only cross once. So yes, it is a function. And you should feel good about yourself. Uh-oh. Did we get something wrong?
The square bracket on the end of infinity.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. I sucked at type. Back when I was in high school, the typing class had changed into a computer class. So it was only half typing and half computers, and I was so obsessed with computers, I never did learn how to type. So, there we go. That was the teacher that called me. What did she say I was? She said I lacked decorum. And I said, thank you. I didn't even know what decorum meant. And she looked at me like I was some kind of Martian. I said, well, thank you. I thought decorum was good. All right, so this is another, and I'll go ahead and start it for you. So here we go. F of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So I'm going to rewrite -2 parentheses squared plus 10 times parentheses plus 4. And then write f of x over here, which is -2x squared plus 10x plus 4. And I'm going to put a minus in the middle and an h on top or bottom. And then plug in x plus h. And I'll do one more step for you because I know my shortcuts. That's going to be -2x squared minus 4xh minus 2h squared. Y'all check me on that because I did it in my head. Plus 10x plus 10h plus 4 plus 2x squared minus 10x minus 4 all over h. And the 2x squareds cancel, so I got that much right. The 10x cancels, and the 4 cancels. And then you can finish it out. Let's see, -4x minus 2h plus 10. Y'all check me. I think that's right. Let's type it in and see if I didn't make a mistake. -4x minus 2h plus 10. Now, I will say that out of all the material, the only thing that we did not do in chapter 3 was the difference quotient. but you're gonna see it again your first semester, your first unit test in calculus. Hopefully we'll be together again, because I don't think I teach 111 next semester, but I do teach 140 in the summer. So, and I'll be teaching it in this format. My department head likes this format. She says it helps out tremendously to teach like this. I said, yeah, I love it too. All right, next. When does homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit. If you miss a question on a test and believe it is correct, what should you do? Throw a tantrum, send 5 or 6 phone calls, and then send several emails saying hello, and none of them will get a response. I'm trying to get rid of, I can't think and chew bubble gum at the same time, excuse me. Y'all women, y'all have a monopoly on that. Men can't do it. All right, we got another question. Okay, what is this? Use transformations. Click on the, notice I tried to click on, I used the absolute value because I didn't like that question with the parabola. I still think it's incorrect. All right, anyway, let me go ahead and all right, absolute value looks like a V. X is in the middle, and it's a 1-to-1. And then we got a horizontal shift of 6 to the left. And it's still 1-to-1. And then X plus 7, I'm sorry, I did it backwards. I suck. Okay, there's our 1-to-1. Then we got a 7 to the left. And then we got a 6 to the right. That should be our answer. Okay, think of your plane. Let's take our plane. The plane, the plane. All right, y'all ready to take the plane? All right, what's this plane? Come on, help me out. What's this plane doing on this function?
Rising.
It's rising, that means it's increasing. Okay, increasing from where? From negative infinity. Got a arrow here. From negative infinity to 2, it's increasing. Then what's it doing from negative 2 to 4? What's the neutrality between increasing and decreasing? It's staying what?
Constant.
Constant. So constant from 2 to 4 is constant, and then what is it doing? It's
Decreasing.
It's decreasing from 4 to infinity. So it's increasing from negative infinity to 2. Now remember, on increasing and decreasing, there's a moment in time when you're neither going up or down. So when you're doing increasing and decreasing, it gets a parenthesis. Decreasing from 4 to infinity. And then it's constant from 2 to 4. The domain of the function is all real numbers because you got arrows here and everything's solid. So negative infinity to positive infinity. Range, negative infinity to 6. If you look at your overall grade one day and it has decreased from several days ago, what has happened? A 0 has been placed for a missing assignment. I asked about 4 or 5 of these on each test because I always have somebody at the end of the semester that will claim that they didn't know zeros went in for incomplete assignments. Yeah, whatever. Determine the domain and range of this function. Domain, since this is x squared, they should put arrowheads on this. I read it as negative infinity to positive infinity. Remember me telling you, most of these questions, unless it has a radical or as a fraction, most of these are going to be all real numbers. Range is from 2 to, okay, what is that, 4? 4 to infinity. Maybe I should go back and change some of these. These sure are some easy questions. The only one that equals what?
100.
Thank you. Graph the function. Somebody graph this function. Tell me which one it is. I'm going to take a red marker and which one it ain't. Well, they're all positive, so this is a vertical shift of -3. And that's not a vertical shift. That's not a vertical shift. It has to be delta. Yeah, I think I'll go back and change these questions. These are too easy. Which function are we doing here? Well, that's not it. Why is it alpha it? That means I want y'all to say
Because it's
something.
not a parabola.
It's not, this is not a parabola. This is a parent graph that looks like that. So that's not it because that's the inverse. So it's either B or D, Bravo or Delta. Let's see. Well, we've got a horizontal shift of 4 to the right and 4 down. So it's Delta. That's 4 up. So it's Delta. Hopefully you're seeing how I'm answering these questions, especially when they're multiple choice, so some of y'all won't screw it up. Find the difference quotient, okay? Now that one should be very simple. Negative 2h minus negative 2x minus 2h plus 10 minus 2x. Well, I can do that in my head just about. Negative 2x minus 2h plus 10 minus, that would be plus 2x minus 10 all over h. Of course, the negative 2x cancels and the 10 cancels. Oh, I need to go back and take this question out. and the h's cancel, and I get -2. Now, I'm sorry, folks, I did that one just about in my head. Y'all should be able to knock that one out, no problem. Email him over and over, yeah. How about his cell phone? Which one is x is less than -2? Well, I'm going to take out, let's see, that's less than, so bracket won't work, and a bracket won't work. So which one is it? Well, less means left, so it's A, it's this one, not that one, because that's to the right. Less than means left, so this one's left, so. And which one? Well, I can take out the brackets again, because we've got a less than, so that means brackets are out. So I believe it's Charlie. I tell you what, I think I'll just edit the test after class. What do y'all think?
I think it's fine the way it is.
No, Miss Davis, you don't know. We need to go back. We need to challenge y'all.
See, people agree.
Actually, I try to make this one easy. This is the second one that's a bear. All right. What does zeros do to your grade? Decrease it. Use the variable, write the interval -7, 7, use set builder notation. X such that X is between -7 is less, let's see, that's going to be less than or equal to X less than or equal to, or less than 7. Which one of these has a horizontal shift of 5 to the left? Well, you can take these two out. Well, that one out. Okay, this one don't have a horizontal shift, so that one's out. So 5 to the left, well, that's 5 to the right, so it's B. There's a lot of questions on here that if you do a little bit of reasoning and critical thinking, you can get them right. The initial amount of water contained in the pool was, the initial amount of water was 48,000. Final amount was 28,000. When did the amount of water remain constant? Well, at 48,000 and at, what is that, 38,000? 48 and 38, which is 0 to 1 and 3 to 4. Two represents, let's see, it's 42, maybe 43,000. Four represents 38,000. At what rate was water being drained from the pool from 1 to 3? At what rate? So you would have to actually do find the slope. So this is 3 comma 38,000. So 38,000 minus 48,000 is negative 10,000. And 3 minus 1 is 2, so it would be 5,000. Now they might want the negative because it's a negative slope. Might want 5,000 gallons. That's it. What should a student do if something happens and they're out of class for a while? Wait until 2 weeks after grade turn-in. And determine the domain and range. Domain is all real numbers. I don't think just do all real numbers. And range is all real numbers. Oh my gosh, that test was easy. I made a 97, I didn't do the first one. And I guarantee you some of y'all were spazzing over these two tests that you were going to take together. Some of y'all were spazzing and going into hammy mode. Well, I'm not going to pass these two tests. I'm not going to pass these two tests. How many of you were saying that? I'm just going to take a minute. What?
I'm more worried about the second test than this first one.
Well, the second test is going to test your completeness square skills. So let's look at it. I'm not going to go through all these. I don't have enough time. Preview. A ladder is resting against a wall. The top of the ladder touches the wall at 9 feet. Find the length of the ladder if the length is 3 foot more than distance from the wall. Okay, so I'll start you off on this. This is going to be a quadratic. Well, that just about sucks. There you go. All right, the top of the ladder touches the wall at a height of 9 feet. So that means this is 9 feet. Nine feet. The length of the ladder, wait a minute, find the length of the ladder if the length is 3 foot more. Let's say this is X, and this is X plus what? 3. Now, what are we going to use here? What do we use on a 90-degree angle?
The
Pythagorean theorem.
That.
I'm going to show y'all how to say that. Pythagorean. Do you know why I had a college professor, Dr. Harden, he said, and he would write it out, and that's the way we would pronounce it. So, x squared plus x plus 3 squared is equal to 9 squared. And you know that 9 squared is 81. And this is x squared. And x squared plus 6x plus 9 2x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 81. And of course, you bring the 9 over and you can, or bring the 81 over and you can complete the square. So I'm not gonna, so that's gonna be 2x squared plus 6x. I'm just gonna take the 9 over. What is that gonna be? Minus 9, what's 81 minus 9? 72, somebody help me out.
72, yeah.
72, yeah.
Factor out the 2. Half of 3 is 3 halves. 3 halves squared is 9/4. Now, by now, should you be going half of 3 is 3 halves, 3 halves quantity squared is 9/4? Yes. If you're still going back to writing it out to the side, and you need to get more fluent. That's shortcut number 1. This 2 will cancel this to a 2, 9 halves. 72, that'd be 144 halves. Two times x plus 3 halves, quantity squared, is equal to 153 halves, which is going to be fourths, and you can continue it from there and take the square root of both sides. I don't know the square root of 153. I don't think there is a square root. So 153, that's going to be 2, let's see, x plus 3 halves, quantity squared is equal to 153 fourths, x plus 3 halves is equal to, well, 12, square root of 144 is equal to 12, 13 is 169, so between 44, that's be what, 25, half of 25 is 12, that'd be 156 is 12.5. So I'm going to say 153 would be about 12.2. So positive or negative, 12.2 over 2. So x is equal to positive or negative 12.2 minus 3 over 2. And I'm not going to worry about the negative because negative can't be distant. 12 minus 3 is 9. I've got an error somewhere. So I've got 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. 4.5 plus 3 is equal to 7.5. So I might want to say 9. I don't know. I may have an error in there somewhere. But that's how you solve it. Let's hit 9 and see if I'm close. I think I've got an error with my math. Nope. Let's go ahead and I'll give you the answer. There it is, 15. So I've got an error in my math somewhere. Anybody see where I made a mistake?
X squared plus 9 squared equals x plus 3 squared.
Say again, where? What?
You did x squared plus x plus 3 squared equals 9 squared.
Okay, tell me where at. Point it to me.
The very beginning of the formula.
Oh,
You
that's
did.
great.
You like did a squared plus c squared equals b squared. Because x plus 3 squared
Yeah,
is
that's
the
it.
hypotenuse.
Pythagorean theorem, thank you. I did it wrong right here. I started the problem off wrong. Why didn't you say something? You wanted to see me fail.
I said
That's
it in
what
the
it
chat. I was
was.
trying to find my microphone.
You wanted to see me fail. That's what it was.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Right here, this is A, this is B, and this is C. I turned it around. A squared plus 9 squared is equal to x plus 3 squared. My bad. But the way that you do it is still the same way. You still do it the same way. You just do x squared plus 81 is equal to x squared plus what? 6x plus 9. There we go. Yeah, and you don't even have to do it, because what happens to the x squareds? They cancel. So it comes out to be a whole lot easier. Let's see, what happens to the 9? What's 81 minus 9? 72 is equal to 6x. So you don't even have to do that. So forget all this. Sorry. I made it harder than it was. Kind of helps to do the Pythagorean theorem the correct way. You know, you don't have to do everything else the wrong way. Well, at least you know one thing about my teaching. I'm not scripted. I make mistakes. When you're not scripted, you do make mistakes. And I'd rather have mistakes than be scripted. Now, that's still not right. What did I do wrong this time? Somebody help me out.
72 divided by 6 equals 12.
Thank you. That's still not the answer. Heck no, I still done something wrong. X squared, 9 times 9 is 81. X squared plus 6x plus 9. X cancels.
Oh, somebody's saying length of the ladder is x plus 3. It says x equals 12. I'm trying to understand what they're saying.
Hold on a minute. Let me see. I forgot to plug in. That may be it. 81 is equal to 6x plus 9 minus 9 minus 9. 6x is equal to 72. X is equal to 12. Yeah. And then 12 plus 3 is 15. Whew. Thought I was going crazy there for a minute. Now, I know class is, what time's class over, y'all? Let me know. Isn't it over right now? Because some of y'all are spazzing.
Carol, I want to start to you at Walter Reed there.
Not yet.
What time's class over? 10:05 or 10 or what? I'll just look right quick since y'all ain't gonna tell me. Math 110. What time's math 110? I don't have it listed. Great. Class is over at 10 o'clock, right?
People in chat are saying 10, yeah.
Okay, I can't see. Okay. All right. Well, let me just do one thing for you, and I'll let Wednesday. We will continue to go into. We'll do this one. We'll do the Unit 2 test Wednesday. Okay. Is that fair enough for y'all?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Let me go to the handy dandy attendance tracker and set the attendance. Let me turn off the recording as well as the presentation. And turn off the recording.